Welcome to Same But Different, the movie talk show where we talk about movies, do reviews, movie news, entertainment. Today, we're doing a movie review, and it's going to be of Scream 7. And warning, Brody, you listening? Warning, this will be a spoiler-filled discussion.
Yeah, we're talking spoilers. If you haven't seen the movie and you care, don't watch.
Yeah, don't watch. Save the video, go watch the movie, then come back and join the conversation. I just think that we can't properly explore this film without talking spoilers. So,
yeah,
there it is. Let's do it. Let's dive right into Scream 7. I got my special poster. Did they hand out posters at your screening?
No.
Oh,
I was gonna wear my mask at the start, but then I completely forgot. So just imagine I was wearing a mask during that intro.
Okay, cool, fair enough.
Yeah.
They were because I saw it on a Thursday, which was like a special fan event that it was nothing but a normal screening, and they just gave me a poster. Scream 7, the 7th, if you haven't guessed, installment in the Scream franchise. And the first movie after the firing of Melissa Barrera and the quitting of Jenna Ortega, and basically the end of that storyline. So where do we go from there? We hop back into Sidney Prescott's life, which I think is a good move, but also a desperate one. Yeah.
It was
a little bit of a... Yeah, go ahead.
Was it desperate, though? Because it was her decision not to come back for 6. So then maybe she... I know they then offered her more, but maybe she then was happy to come back for 7. In the press releases and the tours and stuff, she seems really happy to be here.
Oh, I'm not saying that she's not happy to be there. I'm just saying that once they were floundering with losing Melissa Barrera, Jenna Ortega, and the original writers and directors, they're just like, shit, we gotta like do something to like really get people in the theater. So I think they just like tried to tap into nostalgia as hard as they could, and that's one of the things that I want to talk about this time around.
Okay.
Let's just get our feelings out of the way first. How did you feel about the movie? No rating, but just kind of like, what'd you think about it?
This is gonna be a 2-hour video.
Yeah, maybe.
Generally speaking, here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to give it a rating, but I am going to say something that I think surprises you, because Derek already put out a TikTok short explaining some of his feelings. You may have seen that.
Sure.
You may not have. I liked it more than you.
Okay.
We're gonna be a little cautious here. I liked it more than 6. And that's it.
Really?
And that's it. I think 6 was and now still is the weakest. I thought 6, and it comes down to a couple of things. 1, no Sidney. 2, all of the kills were boring. Every kill in Scream 6 was stab, stab, stabby, stab, 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 stab. I was bored.
Shot. The girl crawling across the ladder, across the alleyway was so good.
How was that good? She fell.
But they shook her off and she banged off the garbage can. That was a cool kill.
I didn't like it.
And she had already been stabbed.
Stab. Look, I wasn't a fan of 6. The killer reveal, and that's not saying a lot because look at this one, and we'll get to that too. But the killer reveal in 6 didn't do anything for me at the time. So I'm comparing my feelings that when coming out of Scream 6, feeling like I really am disappointed in that, and coming out of this where I'm like, oh, I wish that was better, but I didn't hate it.
But bro, Scream 6 had Kirby, come on, and the Scream shrine in the theater.
The theater museum stuff rocks. It rocks.
Come on,
But Derek, there was a lot about Scream 7 that rocked too. It didn't, in my opinion, it didn't suck until the ending. It was a perfectly adequate movie with some excellent points during it. Other than that, just average. But then the ending ruined the entire thing.
I can't agree with that full-heartedly. Okay, so I see where you stand. You liked it a little bit better than I did. I didn't hate the film either. I do think there are lots of good in there, but there is just a lot of bad that instantly shot this down to the bottom of the list for me. It is the worst Scream movie in the franchise.
Okay.
It is the worst.
Second worst for me.
Okay. And you know what? If I went back, and I should probably go back and watch all of them with a analytical critiquing lens and see if I can grab similarities of like mistakes and things that bother me that I'm going to bring up now. But let's just talk about this now because it's fresh.
Sure.
So the things I liked about it. Sydney having a daughter, the mother-daughter relationship. Fantastic. I hate how they just like decided to completely chop out her other two kids and not even show their faces. Yeah. That's kind of weird to me. But the mother-daughter storyline, I like that. I don't like how they didn't really give the daughter much of a development.
No, I didn't really like Tatum.
No, she wasn't that great. Whenever it was, Sydney and Tatum and they're working together and explaining things together, that was cool. You felt the tension, you felt the relationship issues there and trying to grow from that. But Tatum as a character, all of her issues came from like, Mom, you're not telling me everything. And like nothing, I don't know. And then I'm just going to jump ahead real quick. She had never used a gun in her life.
Yeah.
In her life.
Yeah.
And she got 30 headshots.
And did not miss one once. About 20 minutes earlier for the first time, but yeah.
Oh, so she's an expert now. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. She's a sniper at that point.
Also, the only Gen Z in history of the world to have the ringer on their phone.
Yeah. So yeah, Tatum not a strong. They should have made her like a carbon copy of Sydney. And then Sydney sees that and says, like, I don't want you to be me.
Sure.
It should have been like that. It shouldn't have been this new weird character that can't do anything for herself. Like, that's just... No. It didn't work. So there's that. What'd you think about their mother-daughter stuff?
I liked it. I do wish it was more of a... Not a focal point. Honestly, I think I just wish I liked Tatum more because then I would have cared more about their mother-daughter stuff. I think they handled it well, and it was the right move for Sydney at this point in the franchise. But because I didn't care about Tatum, I struggled to care about their relationship. Yep.
Fair enough. Let's pivot to Joel McHale real quick. Part of the family, now married to Sydney. What a unit.
Interesting. I was going to say, what a miscast.
What? Okay, maybe a miscast. But the character of Mark, not Kincaid, that should have been him.
Mark Kincaid should have been the Ghostface.
That'd have been sick. But the character of Mark and how he just like he's a cop. He knew how to fight and hold his own, and he just like she said at one point, it takes a lot to take that guy down, and it's true.
Yep,
takes a lot to take him down. So he's a cool guy in my opinion.
Yeah,
but miscast.
He was a good character, but Joel McHale, I can't see anything but sarcastic, dry, funny, goofy Joel McHale. Well,
he also walks around like Lanky from Donkey Kong Country. Yeah, Donkey Kong 64. Like he's got the worst posture with his arms hanging down to his knees.
Oh, that's
like it's
really funny.
it's so weird to watch. Yeah, so I don't know. He was a cool character. Whatever. Sure. The rest of the characters though, save for Gail when she shows up, fucking dopest entrance for a character ever.
Yeah, it was good. It was good for Gail.
Yes, just drives, and she doesn't give a shit. She just walks out of the car like, "Oh, who was that?"
Yeah,
like
doesn't matter
she
at all.
Hits
anymore.
people with her car on a daily basis.
Yeah.
All the other characters, absolutely, can't even tell you their names.
Well, here's my issue. No, that was the other video. But McKenna Grace, we said this was going to be a spoiler video. She had the potential to be a really good character. She was for 10 minutes.
Yep.
Killing her first was a mistake because she was the only character that had character.
If they really wanted to lean into like the meta self-awareness of it all, McKenna Grace would have been the new Tatum. She had had the attitude of a Tatum.
Yes.
So she could have been that character, and there could have even been a scene, been like, because she's an actor, she'd be like, "Oh no, I want to be in the movies, Mr. Ghostface." Yeah. Like there could even be that. Like that would have been so cool.
Oh, and during her death off screen in a Scream movie, what are we doing? That
McKenna Grace?
No, the other kid. her
Oh,
stagehand or whatever.
yeah, just like a slice to the neck
What do
that
we
we
do
never
in
saw.
Scream? Yeah,
I know. But McKenna Grace's death was one of the coolest deaths in
was
the
cool.
movie, so I'll give it that.
I'll give it second
I will.
best.
You like the beer?
Come on,
one?
it's my favorite death in the franchise, Sarah.
It's so goofy.
It's my favorite death in the franchise.
No, you're not saying that right.
100%.
No way.
It was incredible.
This kid, again, couldn't give you a name, is lifted up by his head and placed on a really sharp beer tap. And then the tap gets pulled and beer and blood starts pouring out of his mouth.
It's fantastic. It's so goofy. It's so like, oh, it's perfect. It was excellent.
Also preceded by a really lame death where she's just thrown into a bunch of glass cups and gets one in the neck. Like super lame.
Yeah.
Yeah, the friend group I didn't connect with at all. Up until now, they've done a pretty okay job at trying to capture the magic of the original Scream friend group. And I appreciate their attempts. You'll never capture the original magic, but it's been passable and I've been okay with it. This was like, nah. I couldn't.
That's fair.
I couldn't. The boyfriend, I liked. So what they did with the boyfriend, they should have done with all the other friends. When he climbed in the window and kind of just like recreated that scene from in their world, Stab, but in our world, Scream. And I think that was really cool that they did that. However, he has one of the lamest moments in the whole franchise.
It's pretty dumb.
And I'm going to tell you right. Oh, do you know what it is?
I'm going to assume it's the editing in his car.
Yep. He sneaks away to edit an AI video in his car, A. And B, why would you, if you're just testing it out, why would you choose to be super aggressive and violent with your test? Why couldn't you just be like, hey, I'm testing this out, I'm Stu Macher? Like, why did he have to go, I'm gonna kill you? Like, so, what?
Your B point for sure bothered me. The A, whatever. These movies, people have to go away for different reasons. They wrote a reason. The fact that, yes, exactly. If I was testing it, I'd be like, oh, is this real? Rawr! Like, and then on top of that, he left his laptop open that much just so it was enticing enough. Like, what are we doing?
It was so dumb.
Yeah.
And then just got a stab death. He didn't really get a cool death at all.
It was kind of violent. He got like stabbed and like lifted up. It was a little more. I want to see. I don't know about the future of Scream. This is doing numbers at the box office though, so honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a Scream 8. But
100% we're getting one.
I just want a Chad and Mindy spinoff.
See,
because they were pointless in this movie, but they're so good and I love them, especially Chad. I forget his name too. I'm so bad today, but I love him. He's such a good character.
I agree. Oh, I really don't want to get stabbed today.
Yeah.
Get stabbed.
And
he needs to be the running joke of every movie going forward. Just get stabbed all the time.
He had just like a comedic reaction shot when one of the kids said something dumb, and it was my favorite part of the movie. I wish I remembered, but it just cut to him and he was just like just a gross little ew face, or like a what the fuck did you just say face. And it was excellent. I want them to have their own little spin-off series. I think it would be great.
I agree with you. And if they end Sydney's storyline, continue with them, that would be really cool. They're awesome characters. Mm-hmm. Terribly and tragically wasted in this film.
They were.
But I have something to say about them, and I just don't understand. And this, again, feeds into the fact that the script was written by AI. Kevin Williamson, what are you doing? You're the original writer of Scream 1, 2, and 4. How did you drop the ball so hard with this script?
Well, a lot of people would argue he dropped the ball with 4 as well. Those people would be wrong, but a lot of people think that.
They're very wrong.
Oh, I agree.
4 was the closest thing to the meta, like, Scream universe that we've gotten since 1.
Well, yeah, 4 is my runner-up. It's my second favorite, so.
I would probably agree with that, to be honest. I don't understand how out of nowhere, first of all, why are they coming with Gale?
Oh,
To do this? Why? Who? And at what point did either of them ever show interest in journalism, or camera work, or being a reporter? That was never ever on the table for either of those characters. So it's just to like randomly shoehorn them into that role. It just felt so weird. I'm like, when did this happen?
I guess it's just kind of a callback to like Randy and his videography stuff, and I don't know.
Maybe. I guess. I don't know. It's kind of anyway. Wasted characters. Unfortunate. Cool moments though. The really cool moment of them crawling through the wall.
Yeah.
It was shown in the trailer, and the trailer showed a lot, so fuck trailers. Them crawling through the wall, really cool Scream set piece moment. However, preceded by a huge question of like, if you have a panic room, why the fuck aren't you staying in your panic room?
I said it. Because
what is happening?
I think the whole thing was we got to go see if your dad's okay.
Okay.
I think the whole thing was let's go get your dad. Like that. I think she even said that. Maybe not that specifically, but that was the motivation.
Weak.
It's tough, but also I would leave my panic room to save my spouse, and she did.
Weak. I guess. Weak though.
I don't know if it is. I think that you might be griping for gripe's sake.
maybe. The AI of it all, how do you feel about it?
Knowing it wasn't actually AI, hopefully, I think they handled it pretty well. It was neat to see some of the people come back. I knew all of them were already cast, although I thought Skeet Ulrich was cast as well, so it was weird when he didn't show up.
I thought that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with the AI stuff. I'm kind of glad it wasn't Stu. Once it's in the trailers, I was like, cool, it's going to be Stu. As the movie kept going on, I was hoping it was going to be AI, to the point where I knew it wasn't Stu by the end.
Yeah, because it wasn't masterful or sick enough to be Stu, you know?
It still leaves him a possibility, you know?
I think it's can still be him. I have a problem with the AI though, because, and this is just, maybe it's nitpicking, and maybe their hands were tied, they couldn't do anything else, but all of the AI versions of the people that were displayed in the movie were versions of the people that there's no information on them to look like that. Like, there's nothing out in the world of AI that would depict Stu with a scarred face, a scarred grayed wrinkle face. So how are we getting that? You know what I mean?
I will go on ChatGPT. No, I won't. But if you upload a picture of someone and say, make this person look 30 years older and put scars on their face, it will do that.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
It just will.
I guess you're right.
Granted, it won't look good as this. You're going to be able, luckily, still tell it's AI at this point in time. Who knows in 6 months? But
yeah.
That's something AI can do, though.
I suppose you're right. What did you think about, and this comes down to the script again, some of the lines that Sydney was saying, like, fuck you, whoever you are, and when she looked at her phone and said, fuck you, phone.
Yeah. Well, it's like when Paul Walker says, sorry, car, in Fast and the Furious 1. It's my favorite line. It's tough because if she was a 17-year-old girl and this was 1996, I think those would have flown. And I think that's what it was trying to showcase. But it's a lot harder because she's a 47-year-old woman and it's a darker movie now. So it didn't bother me because I think it's what Scream was always supposed to be. It's just that the tone of this movie was kind of juxtaposing it.
Yeah. And that was another one of my big gripes, is that it totally lost. I think I just touched upon it briefly, but it's totally lost what Scream used to be. Like, up until Scream 4.
That's what I mean. 5 and 6 already had lost it, though. Like, I like 5. Yeah. It's a good movie. But it had already revamped what Scream is.
Yep. Yep. And there's just no more. I'm not gonna say no more because there are a little bit, but it's overshadowed by the ultimate serious tone of the whole thing. But there's just no more tongue in cheek. There's no more witty self awareness, meta commentary on the slasher genre. There was just so much of that up until and including 4.
Yeah,
and
even 5
it's
had that
gone.
one scene at least in Dewey's trailer.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
or
and
was
it's
it?
just sadly gone, and I don't like it. Bring it back. Why are we so serious?
Um,
Why are we so serious?
I don't know. We'll see what happens with the 8. I think if there is an 8, it's going to be tough for Kevin Williamson and the producers because this one did such critical success, but it's also getting ripped apart. So where do they meet in the middle to say, let's make another one? But if they make it just like this, it's going to do this well based on the numbers. So it's hard.
Yeah, I don't know. They gotta tap into something else, and I'm just sad that Kevin Williamson can't do it. I say keep Kevin Williamson in the writer's chair. I think he can't do 2 things at once. I think that's the problem. I think he can't write and direct.
I want a hot fuzz twist. I want everybody except for the main characters to be in on it together. I want there to be 9 ghost faces, but then
It's the cult of Stu. It's the cult of Stu.
Yeah.
How cool would it be to flip the script and everyone's a ghost face and Sydney's going around hunting them down?
That would be cool.
Why not?
Well, it'd be hard to write a twist into that. That'd be really cool.
Just flip the script, man. All you have to do, the twist is who's running the whole thing, and it would be Stu. Well, speaking of twists, let's talk about it.
Yeah,
what did you think about... that's okay. This can be a big one. What did you think about the reveal of the killer and the motivation of the killer?
So, I'm going to start with this. The moment Anna Camp was on screen, I said, that's Ghostface.
Interesting.
Because
yeah,
they always, it's kind of a shame. And maybe it wasn't the way in 1, 2, and 3, but even 4 onward, it's always someone who has an already established career.
Oh. Okay.
Emma Roberts.
What was that?
And then...
I see what you're saying.
Jack Quaid.
I mean,
and
you
Mikey
mean in real
Madison.
life.
Yeah. Sorry. And then Dermot Mulroney or whatever. It's always someone who already... So, and she was it. It was her and McKenna Grace, and it wasn't McKenna Grace. So...
Right.
But that's neither here nor there. That was just me calling it early, which was kind of a shame. But when the first Ghostface was revealed, not the one, because there was technically 3. When the second Ghostface was revealed, I leaned over to Aaron and I said, "Who's that?"
Because he had 1 minute of screen time.
I didn't know who he was at all. And going back, I think going back and rewatching the scene he was in my mind, I like that scene now, knowing his motivations and just fabricating this fake patient and stuff like that that's really neat. But that's not that. He would have been fine if he was the sidekick. Fine, if the other Ghostface was a heavier hitter, because that was garbage. It was the worst motivation I've ever heard. Why burn down Stu's house? Why do anything? It didn't make sense at all. Unless this is
Zero.
one big like setup for Scream 8. Like she moved next door to Sid. Like she clearly was obsessed with her. It didn't work.
Brody, the more she talked, the more I got lost. I felt like I was losing brain cells trying to listen to her explain away her motivation.
She did a great job.
Was, like acting wise?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. But every sentence that came out of her mouth, I was like, huh? What is what? I couldn't follow it. I couldn't understand it. From what I gather, Sydney's book inspired her to kill her husband. And when Sydney hid away from the public eye, she got mad and crazy and checked herself in somewhere. and then just recruited this random dude at the hospital, and he had zero motivation other than just like, I'm just helping this person out. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck? What is happening?
Yeah.
It was the worst.
Yep. It was the worst. And also, which one of them is strong enough to lift an 18-year-old boy like that?
Also that.
Grab him by the
Also
head
that.
and lift him into the air? Nobody can do that.
Anna Camp is a very tiny person.
Yeah. Now,
yeah.
the reveal wasn't it. The final fight through the garage or whatever was fine. Nothing special. It wasn't it.
I have a question for you. Knowing that it was one of the three Ghostface at the time, or maybe it was just the two at the time that are still alive. Who among them knew the code to get into Sydney's coffee shop?
Yeah, that's another thing I thought of. I like to think Anna Camp. I actually have put thought into this, and I think Anna Camp being obsessed with Sid would have known her daughter's birthday and would have known she's the type of person to do something sentimental like that, and maybe it has tested it in the past, maybe took a shot in the dark, but I think she would have known.
And you think that Sydney put her daughter's birthday as the code for her front door and also her safe for the gun?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's stupid, Sydney.
You know
That's
what's
real
stupid?
Sydney.
Is when you're just, this is worse than the panic room because she was safely locked in an office and Sydney told her to shoot through the wall and leave. She was safe in that office.
Yeah. Sure was. There's so many abysmal moments that, like, in my mind, you can't recover from. And yeah, it's just the worst Scream movie.
I liked the opening sequence too. If the trailer didn't completely give it away, I think it was a strong opening sequence.
I agree. The sequence, yes, as a contained sequence, it was one of the best, honestly, in my opinion.
It was good.
However, it didn't have any residual effect throughout any of the other.
Yeah, they didn't even mention like,
nope,
these people die. Oh, weird. I didn't even notice that. They always do that.
They always do.
Oh, did
and
they
they
in 6?
literally.
With Samara Weaving?
Well, yes, in a way, because the Ghostface then went home and got killed himself, and then that was discussed later. Like,
yes, okay,
there's
fine, sure,
there's
yes.
always some sort of tie-in to the main plot of the movie, whether it be very loosey-goosey or a solid tie-in. Always something. This opening sequence was completely removed from the rest of the film.
Well, this was for the burning down of the house. Yeah, they were just.
But
in the
it's
wrong
so
place at the wrong
significant.
time.
But even if they never mentioned the two people that died, for someone just to mention that Stumacher's house burned down or something, because that's like a staple of Scream, and you're not going to mention it or weave it into the story somehow? Come on.
Sorry, man.
It's all your fault. Kevin Williamson, back in the writer's chair. Get someone else to direct. That's what I say.
That's fair. Sure.
I'm so sad. I'm so sad that I didn't like a Scream movie.
I'm so sorry. I am. That sucks. I know what that's like with other franchises. Final Destination 4, anybody? But it's going to happen. Saw 5. It's going to happen. This is the 7th movie. Whether it was 4, 5, 6, 7, one of the it's gonna happen. They can't all be. You know, the only franchise that's done every movie right is Mission Impossible. It's the only franchise.
There are arguments to be made about 2, but okay.
No,
I see where
not.
you're coming from. It was good in its own right. Yeah, every franchise is gonna have its stinker, I guess. This is definitely the stinker for me. That's all I have to say about it. Do you have anything to add?
No, let's hope if there's an 8, it bounces back with a vengeance. I think at this point, I think Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega would never. But if they're not begging them to come back already, they're doing something wrong.
Oh man, if they came back and teamed up with Sid to take,
they won't. You know what a power move would have been on Barrera's part, and who knows if this doesn't happen, if she shows up in Scary Movie 6. Dude.
That'd be like, it's like the ugly Sonic showing up in the Chippendale movie.
Sure. Does that happen?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, if Melissa Barrera showed up in Scary Movie 6, that would be, God, would that be amazing?
That'd be really awesome. You heard it here, folks. You hear it first. It's gonna happen. Have you out there seen Scream 7? If you have seen Scream 7, what did you think about it? Comment in the section below. Comment on anything we discussed about anything throughout the whole video. We'd love to have
stuff.
Yeah, and we love to have back and forths with people, so do that. Like the video, subscribe. Come on back next week for possibly another review, more movie news, another game. Who knows? We're here to entertain, whatever that may be.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And keep watching movies.